Alright, everyone, welcome back. In today's video we're diving into a topic that is fundamental to achieving financial success, creating an effective monthly budget. Imagine having a clear plan that guides your finances, helps you reach your goals and brings you peace of mind. Well, stop imagining it because in this video I am going to teach you how to create a monthly budget that actually works. It is not just about restricting yourself, it is about gaining control. You deserve it. Let's get started. Before diving into the steps, I want to highlight the significance of tracking your spending habits. Why? Simple awareness is the first step towards control. Many people feel overwhelmed by the idea of budgeting because it seems complicated. They think they need fancy apps or spreadsheets to keep track of every penny. But the truth is that sometimes the simplest methods are the most effective. So forget about the complexity. Let's break it down. The first step is to determine your net income. It is essential to know precisely what you have available. This is not about your potential or what you would like to earn. It is about your actual income. If you have a steady job with a fixed salary, this is quite straightforward. You receive a paycheck each month, and you know exactly how much it is. However, if you are self-employed or your income varies, it is important to calculate an average based on the last 3 to 6 months. This will give you a realistic view of your typical monthly income. To do this, add up your income from the last 3 to 6 months and divide that sum by the number of months. For example, if you received $1,000 one month, $1,200 the next month. Once you have determined your average monthly income, it's time to move on to step 2, identifying your fixed expenses. These are costs that remain relatively stable each month and are necessary for your life. Examples include housing, utilities, insurance, loan payments, and transportation. Begin by listing all your fixed expenses and calculating the amount you spend on each one each month. As we move forward, we will have a clearer picture of your financial situation. Now let's talk about variable expenses. These are costs that change from month to month and are not necessarily essential. Variable expenses include food, entertainment, clothing, subscriptions, and other similar items. Just as we did with fixed expenses, list all your variable expenses and estimate the amount you spend on average each month on each one. To better manage your variable expenses, group them into categories. For example, categorize restaurant meals, movie tickets, and event tickets under entertainment. Group clothing purchases into a clothing category, grocery purchases into a food category, and so on. By grouping them, you can easily visualize where your money goes. You may also have irregular expenses. These are expenses that occur periodically, but not every month. For example, car maintenance, annual insurance payments, or holiday gifts. Some examples of irregular expenses that can vary depending on the month are car maintenance, birthday gifts, or special event gifts. When identifying these expenses, consider how often they occur and estimate the average cost. Divide the total cost by the estimated number of times the expense occurs per year and then divide the result by 12 to get the monthly amount. Add this amount to your monthly expenses. After listing all your expenses, both fixed and variable, as well as irregular ones, we are ready to proceed to the next step. Calculate your total expenses by adding all the amounts allocated to each expense. Once you have calculated your total expenses, subtract them from your average monthly income. The result is your disposable income. This is the amount you have available for discretionary spending, savings, and debt repayment. I know that throughout the process you may have realized that your total expenses exceed your average monthly income. If this is the case, don't panic. The key is to analyze your expenses and look for areas where you can reduce spending and reallocate funds to meet your financial obligations. By examining your expenses, you may find some that you can reduce or even eliminate. Ask yourself, are there any subscriptions you aren't using? Can you negotiate lower prices for utilities or insurance? Can you find cheaper alternatives for certain items without sacrificing quality? These adjustments will help free up funds in your budget to allocate towards your savings and debt repayment goals. And here comes a crucial step. Set a savings goal. Regardless of how much disposable income you have, it is essential to establish a savings goal. Even if it is a small amount initially, start by allocating a portion of your disposable income to savings. As you progress, aim to increase this amount over time. Remember that starting small is better than not starting at all. Setting a savings goal is essential for ensuring you allocate funds to build an emergency fund, plan for retirement, or save for future expenses such as education or buying a house. By setting a clear savings goal, you can track your progress and stay motivated to maintain your savings habit. Debt repayment is a significant part of your financial journey, and it is crucial to address it effectively. If you have high interest rate debts such as credit card debt, personal loans, or payday loans, develop a debt repayment strategy. Consider the snowball or avalanche method to determine which debts to pay off first. The snowball method involves paying off the smallest debt first while making minimum payments on the remaining debts. Once the smallest debt is paid off, you move on to the next smallest debt, allocating the amount you were paying on the previous debt. The avalanche method, on the other hand, focuses on paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first while making minimum payments on the others. Choose the strategy that suits you best and commit to paying more than the minimum balance due date each month. Congratulations! You have successfully created your monthly budget. At this point, you have categorized your expenses, identified areas for potential savings, and established savings and debt repayment goals. Keep in mind that creating a budget is not a one-time task. It is essential to review and adjust it regularly. Analyze your budget at least once a month to ensure it aligns with your financial goals and changing circumstances. Track your expenses, compare them with your budget, and make adjustments as needed. Life circumstances change, and your budget should adapt accordingly. But remember, this is not about deprivation. It is about smart management. With a clear plan, you can still enjoy your life while working towards your financial goals. And I want to leave you with a phrase that has inspired me greatly: beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. Benjamin Franklin knew that the details matter. Those small expenses that we often overlook can have a significant impact on our financial stability. It is essential to be vigilant and attentive to every detail, no matter how small it may seem. Do not underestimate the power of small expenses. They accumulate and can lead to serious financial consequences. Therefore, take care of the little things, and you will see how your finances grow and flourish. If you found this advice helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with friends or family who might benefit from it. Your support means a lot to me. Also, subscribe to my channel for more content that inspires financial growth and success. Thank you for watching. Until next time.